Iced coffee for the same price. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Chief Meteorologist Tim Miller. Weather coverage you can count on. The Live Viper 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai.
Well, getting set for a hot summer weekend. Welcome to July, right? Toasty afternoons with a decent chance of showers and thunderstorms. A full look at your Viper 6 forecast for your Friday night and the weekend. All coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 4, a local recycling center reopens in grand fashion. We'll take you there.
And we know we need sunscreen to protect our skin from the sun, but what about our dogs and cats? Details.
They are completely elated. Obviously, they shouldn't have had to go through this process from the beginning.
Plus, we're learning more about what Geroid Price was doing before his arrest this week in New York. The FBI talking about that manhunt. As your News at 4 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 4.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brad Dean.
And I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins with this heat that we're experiencing. We want to check in with Chief Meteorologist Tim Miller.
Yeah, Tim, hoping some rain could give us a bit of a temperature break over the weekend, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's going to happen, guys. Mostly tomorrow. I think our better chance of showers and storms tomorrow, a little less for Sunday. The heat's only just begun. Wait till you see the forecast as we get into the next week. It gets even hotter. What we're experiencing this afternoon, remember I said we'd get the humidity really revved up here Thursday and Friday, and that's exactly what's happening. We're starting to see some scattered showers and storms pop up now just south of Grovetown, probably near the fort here, a little shower. This is only the beginning, I think, of some more showers and storms popping up this afternoon. This is to the northeast of Louisville, south of Millen, and to the southwest of Savannah. So, again, not a lot of storms here, but the atmosphere is just about right. That's a pretty little sky. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam right outside the Riverwalk. 91 our current temperature at Bushfield, 88 Gibson, 92 in Thompson, Waynesboro at 91. But let's check the heat index. Feels like 102 in Louisville, 100 in Bushfield, 100 in Bamberg, and that still may go up just a smidge as we go through the rest of the afternoon time. So we're dealing with these clouds, some scattered showers. This trough is also going to help fire off showers and storms. It creates a little lift. That's what we need. So again, I think we'll have some decent opportunities of showers and storms for us tonight. Here is Futurecast. Notice by 8 o'clock or so, still dealing with peppered about some scattered showers and storms, even around midnight, the northern part of the CSRA. And that should be done probably about 2 in the morning or so. Forecast for tonight, generally speaking, we'll throw in those shower and storm chances. Again, not everyone will get one for tonight, but just understand that the chance certainly is there. And this weekend, a much better opportunity of storms for Saturday, 93, a little less for Sunday, 95, but that heat index will be a big issue as well. Coming up, we'll go over hour by hour what we can expect for our weekend in just a few minutes. Jenny, Brad.
All right, Tim, thanks a lot. Well, this heat continues to stick around for the foreseeable future, and you know that if it's hot to us, our four-legged friends are feeling it too, for sure. But there are ways to protect them. Bria Smith joining us now with that story.
The temperature continues to rise as we get deeper into the summer days, and protection from the sun, like sunscreen, isn't just for people, but pets as well. Local vets we spoke with off camera tell me they've seen an influx of patients coming in with heat stroke. And since dogs sweat through their paws, vets say it's important to be mindful of how much time is being spent on hot pavement. But they don't just need protection from the heat. The American Kennel Club says dogs need sunscreen too before they go outside for long periods of time.
Because they have skin, right? So then they can be exposed to having skin cancer, just like humans can have that too. So you want to make sure that you're protecting them, and so they don't get burned. They can get sunburn also. So you do want to.
Vets say if the pavement is too hot for the back of your hand, then it's too hot for the bottom of your pet's paw. Brad?
Thanks a lot, Bria. There's a new place to recycle in North Augusta. News Channel 6's Graham Lee now with a closer look at the new materials recovery facility.
The materials recycling facility, known as the Murph Building, has reopened its doors after being closed for nearly 2 years. The building caught on fire on Thanksgiving night in 2021. It took $2.5 million in insurance money to cover the damages, and that, along with a little elbow grease, got it reopened. The new building is also bringing a new way of recycling. North Augustans can now separate their trash and recyclables for the first time.
You know, we have citizens who want to be
they want to be very much environmentally responsible. And they've been calling for this ability to have clean recyclable and have the bins that we're using, and we're giving it to them. So I'm very excited about it.
Now that the building is open, the only other thing to do is get the bins in the hands of North Augustans, who can expect them to be sent out in just 3 weeks. In North Augusta, Graham Lee, WJBF, News Channel 6.
New documents shedding light on Jeroid Price's whereabouts. The convicted killer, whose early release from prison was vacated in April, was in South Carolina when his sentence was reinstated. Jason reports from Columbia.
Jeroid Price spent more than 70 days on the run from a local, state, and federal law enforcement. Now, officials say a tip from South Carolina led to his eventual arrest in New York this week. In March, Price was released from his prison sentence 16 years early by a judge. In April, the state Supreme Court overturned that order that released him from prison. After Price didn't turn himself in, this kicked off a months-long search for him. According to federal court documents, the FBI believes Price was briefly in South Carolina when his release was vacated, but went to Fayetteville, North Carolina, and boarded a bus to Atlanta, Georgia. They said telephone tracking indicated Price went from Georgia to New Mexico. He was believed to be in New Mexico in June. The law enforcement arrested Price in New York this week after receiving a tip.
It was a non-use of force type event. I don't want to say it was peaceful, but there was no force needed, and he was apprehended without any event occurring.
A New York court records show he's currently in custody awaiting a hearing on July 31st. He's expected to return to South Carolina. He will be taken to the Kirkland Reception and Evaluation Center in Columbia until his permanent custody placement is determined. In Columbia, I'm Jason Raven.
Price was sentenced to prison for 35 years for a 2002 murder. Airports are seeing more guns at security checkpoints. According to the Transportation Security Administration, the reason for the increase is simple. More travelers plus more gun owners leads to more guns in airports. But there's also another explanation.
In states where you have open carry, concealed carry, people make it part of their routine to take their gun with them when they go out for the day. They grab their keys and their wallet and their firearm when they head out the door. But when you're traveling, you really got to flip that mindset and make sure that you're thinking about what you're bringing to the airport.
If caught with firearms at the security checkpoint, you lose pre-check screening benefits and face potential criminal citations and fines up to $15,000.
Augusta University's College of Nursing has a program.
Kids who participated in the Aiken Center for the Arts Summer Art Camp will get a chance to show off their hard work. News Channel 6's Brandon Dawson has the details.
The Aiken Center for the Arts is a community arts center in the heart of downtown Aiken, and coming up, they have an event that will showcase some up-and-coming artists.
The event coming up is Arts Alive. It's our annual open house. It's a culmination of our summer art camp experience and a way for the students to share the art that they've created with our community.
Not only will the event have art, but there will also be plenty to do, including music, dance performances, and more.
It's a free event to the public where it's from 11 to 2 o'clock on Saturday, July 29th. You can walk in anytime during the day. It's kind of an open house. There'll be all kinds of activities going on the whole time.
For the kids that have been working hard all summer, this is sure to be an experience like no other.
It's a really special experience when you've created art, to see your art up on the wall. It gives you a sense of pride.
The folks at the Aiken Center for the Arts are excited to have families see what their kids have created, and they hope the rest of the community will come out as well.
We're hoping that the community is inspired to either go create art on their own, to come back here and take a class, and to appreciate what the campers and our student artists have created this year.
Brandon Dawson, WJBF News Channel 6.
The Arts Alive open house is Saturday, July 29th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Coming up, students are pushing to get free period products in North Carolina schools.
How they're turning a major problem into a solution. When we come back.
The News Channel 6 mobile app is now even better. Download it today.
Some students in North Carolina are calling for free period products for girls in schools across the state.
Chloe Rafferty has the story.
We have large pads,
regular pads and then also our liners. Take a look at this free menstrual product dispenser installed in 52 bathrooms across 4 Wake County schools. It's all thanks to Period Project NC, a nonprofit founded by Wake County seniors Rose Rosaline and Sarah Pazokian. Our main goal is to diminish period poverty and inequity, but we also just want to provide period products for any girls, no matter what, because anything can happen at school. It kind of like hinders your education in a way, like especially that day you'll be really like nervous. It kind of has like a sense of shame along with it. Right now, the dispensers are helping 4,000 students across Green Hope High School, Panther Creek High School, Apex Friendship High School, and Lowe's Grove Middle School. The nonprofit hopes to expand the program to the rest of Wake County and North Carolina. I think it's important for people to know that menstrual hygiene is not a luxury and that all girls need it no matter what. 1 year ago this month, North Carolina debuted the Feminine Hygiene Products Grant Program. It offers schools the funding to provide free menstrual products. For it to be implemented across the state, Rose and Sarah say all it takes is the student voice. They have some of the resources to make free menstrual products available in their bathrooms, but they don't have the other things they need, like, you have to have a plan for implementation, how you're going to keep those restocked and refilled and things like that. The main takeaway here is that initiative can be youth-led, and if you see a need, you can fulfill it.
I think that's terrific. And right here at home, P3 Party for Girls and Period Augusta at MCG both provide tampons, pads, and other products. They also work to educate the community and debunk the stigma against periods.
Last year, the students behind this project at MCG were recognized as the new Organization of the Year. When are we going to get a break from this heat?
Tim Miller's up next with the Weekend Outlook. Stay with us.
I'm Attorney G.
TV, WJBF 6.2. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Say, well, the atmosphere is just about ripe to have these showers and storms start to form. I mean, it's so humid outside, and that's what's going to be happening over the next couple hours. We'll have these little showers and storms that will form. Some of them will produce some pretty heavy downpours. Others may not see a drop. Tomorrow, though, I think that's a different story. We'll zoom right in here. We got ourselves a little meatball between Grovetown and Hepzibah. This activity is trying to make it into the city here. Again, no lightning here with that, but certainly some heavy rain, and it's sort of peppered above. That's a little shower. It's about ready to give it up there, just to the east of Louisville, and more showers starting to form. So something that we'll keep an eye on this afternoon. 91 degrees, but look at that dew point. Wow, 74-degree dew point makes it feel like 100. Relative humidity at 58%, so the dew points are very high. That's why it feels outside, and we all have that in the face. Warm and muggy mornings, hot and humid afternoons, a few showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow and Sunday, and it gets hotter next week. You think it's hot now? Let's wait till next week. All right, what's your tea time tomorrow? Do it early before any showers and storms start to take effect. Really, after 12 noon, all bets are off. Same thing with the lake. Remember, thunder or lightning, everybody off the lake, out of the pool, until the storm passes. You don't want to fool with lightning at all with these storms, but not a bad day at the lake. Little trough will still hang around here, so trough creates a lift, right? So we need lift, heating of the day from the July sun, and that's a perfect recipe for scattered showers and storms. That'll be the case for us. Low pressure attached to that well to our north. We do the cool front that'll be in by the time we get towards late Saturday. I want to talk about Don, of all things. Subtropical storm Don has formed in the Atlantic, wind speeds of 45 miles per hour. Its movement will continue to meander here into the Atlantic, and you just, so all fish at sea. That would really be about it for Don. All right, closer to home. Notice that this little wave here will start to come in tomorrow. The heat of the day, it basically explodes over us with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some of that rain will be heavy. Saturday night it ends. By Sunday, we'll watch this front and a little trough. My thinking is a lot of the energy will remain well to our south, but still, nonetheless, some scattered showers and storms around for Sunday before we dry it out a little bit for early part of next week. Here is tomorrow at noon. All of a sudden, watch this just go crazy. That's going to be the case tomorrow afternoon. At any point, any one of these could produce pretty heavy rain, gusty winds. That's 7 o'clock. Catch a break at 9 o'clock, and then Futurecast wants to bring another big batch of rain in late at night, early in the morning. So I'm not sold on that, but I wouldn't deny it. Here's noontime for Sunday. Notice a lot of this activity is south of Augusta, but still scattered showers and storms will pop. It'll be a hot day as well. There's not nearly as many storms as Saturday. 93 tomorrow with the rain-cooled air. tongue in cheek. Heat index 107, 95 Sunday, then notice 98 by the time we get to Tuesday. Tonight we'll call it partly cloudy, any showers or storms ending by about 10 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, storms likely, high of 93. The average is 94. We'll carry those storms into at least tomorrow night. How about Sunday? How is Sunday looking? Well, pretty much the same. Chance of a storm, a lower the rain chance to 30%. But look at those temperatures, upper 90s to pushing near 100 degrees. Only isolated storms for Tuesday, Wednesday. I think a better chance by the time we get towards the end of the week.
All right, Tim, thank you for that. And President Joe Biden focusing on the weather, signing off on a major disaster declaration for Vermont.
The National Weather Service reports more than 113 million people in the U.S. are under some form of heat alert.
That's exactly right. The extreme heat wave hitting the Southwest is forecast to last into next week. M. Wynn reports.
A blistering heat wave sweeping the southern U.S. with no relief in sight. Phoenix, Arizona, in the middle of a record-breaking run of temperatures hitting 110 or higher for more than 2 weeks. Even at night, it's still in the 90s. The Arizona Burn Center treating people scorched from the pavement outside, which can reach 180 degrees during the day.
I just walked out of the operating room after operating on a patient who had gone down and suffered really bad pavement burns.
In California, sweltering conditions only expected to get worse this weekend, with highs in inland desert areas slated to top 120 degrees.
Getting overheated like that, you start to get tired, irritable, angry, you're not thinking clearly.
In Hollywood, Florida, the heat keeping people away from businesses on the beach.
The waters off South Florida hitting a shocking 98 degrees, threatening the coral reefs there. Climate change means these heat events are going to last longer and be more intense.
Over in Vermont, the state mourning its first fatality related to this week's raging floods that have destroyed thousands of homes and businesses. President Biden approving a disaster declaration as residents brace for more heavy rain. Alabama hit by torrential rain, with parts of Mississippi also underwater.
My store is currently underwater. You can't even see the parking lot anymore.
Heavy smoke from the wildfires burning western Canada is expected to return to the Midwest this weekend, with an air quality advisory already issued for Wisconsin. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up, a summer camp in North Carolina that's taking kids back in time.
And it's one pixelated character at a time. Stay with us.
Over at ForSchoolSC.com.
It's been more than 4 decades since arcade games dominated pop culture in a huge way, and they are honoring that up at the Cannon School in Concord, North Carolina, where it's anything but game over for those blasts from the past.
The Retro Video Gaming Camp is giving kids a pop culture history lesson that includes the rise and near fall of the industry. And kids get to play more than 50 vintage titles over the course of the 1-week camp.
I enjoy that it's different because the majority of the games that I play are all new and they get really repetitive because like it's all role-playing games, RPGs, and these are all different because they're original and they're blocky, and I like that.
The creator of the camp was a child of the 80s, and he remembers the height of arcade games. And Brad, let me tell you. Oh, well, no, you go ahead and tell us your line, and then I'll tell you my thought.
Well, it's interesting about that camp director. He says playing these old games is like exploring our electronic roots.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I surely did drop a good many quarters in Ms. Pac-Man games back in the day.
Yeah, Ms. Pac-Man. I remember sort of a dark period of the arcade era. There was a Pac-Man machine at the Dairy Queen near our house, and you could slam a battery into the place where you put your quarters and it would give you credits. Yeah, I'm not saying I ever did it, but if you took a D battery and slammed it up against the place where you put your coins, it gave you credits.
That's funny.
Yeah. There's a lot more coverage you can count on. Coming up next on News Channel 6 at 4:30.
Including House lawmakers debate.
Talk more about that in detail, which gets even hotter next week in just a few minutes. Jenny, Brad.
All right, Tim, thanks a lot. Augusta University's College of Nursing has a program that's been bringing health care to minorities in rural areas. It's been in place for 18 years now. Hannah Latier tells us how it's making a difference.
The Costa Layman International Health Fair Outreach was started back in 2005 and has since grown to offer many different types of healthcare screenings for those who need it the most. At Friday's event, dental, lung, skin, HIV, EKG, and other screenings were provided to rural Hispanic farm workers. Students were able to get hands-on experience caring for patients. During COVID, turnout at the event dwindled, but Friday, the majority of workers at the farms showed up.
We constantly evolve to bring in more and more services to provide health care as well as health promotion and prevention and education to our workers while training our future workforce.
Program leaders tell me the goal is to keep improving, and they hope to expand their services in the coming years. The School of Nursing's next outreach event will be in the fall, and I'll have more details about that at WJBF.com. In Trenton, Hannah Latier, WJBF News Channel 6.
Now there's good news for some up-and-coming artists looking to showcase